can be simple roll-up rates, which is calculating the interest on a simple interest basis. For those not familiar with simple interest calculations, very simple. It's whatever the initial premium amount is and the initial simple interest rate or roll-up rate. Let's say it's $100,000 going into the contract, and then the roll-up rate for that contract is a 6% simple interest rate. That means that $6,000, so 6% multiplied by 100,000, $6,000 is going to be credited each year, no matter if that account value grows or not, or if that income benefit grows or not. It's going to be a $6,000 added interest each year. But you can find, if you really work with an expert that has access to the entire independent annuity marketplace, you can find some really attractive compounded roll-up rates in the 7 to 8% range. And that compounded word is very key because it's going to apply that interest rate to the growing value of that income benefit. So in that example, if you had a 6% compounded roll-up rate, 100K goes in, the first year it's going to get 6K added to it from that 6% interest. But the next year, the formula is going to be that the new income benefit value, which has that 100, now it's 106,000. They're going to take 106,000 and multiply it again by 6%. So that's where that compounding effect comes in. And Einstein always said that was the eighth wonder of the world. So compounded interest is your friend.
There we have it. All right, awesome. But yeah, I know we really wanted to share some of what we do with our clients on a daily basis, give them real life scenarios to what we're talking about, not just provide the education, but also give you a little glimpse of what this process looks like. So if you'd like to go through a scenario, Jeremiah, I know we were talking about one of your clients recently. They were 65, husband and wife, looking to start income with a fixed index annuity and just seeing where that would take them.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the common scenarios we get in our line of work, the people that meet with us on Zoom, all from all over the country, a lot of them have questions about, how much income can they get? They sometimes have an amount of money that's kind of earmarked for this annuity purchase. And their number one question is, how much income can I get for my amount of premium that I'm willing to commit to putting into the annuity? And that's very simple. That's something that we really pride ourselves in because we leverage technology to help us sift and sort, rank, and order all of the independent annuities on the marketplace, with the primary goal being that we're being as transparent and forthright as possible to help you make an educated and confident decision in your financial future. So the way that we do that is by leveraging our software that we use in an engaging way, an interactive way rather, when you choose to meet with us. So if you can see my screen here, I'm going to go ahead and get into the income rider calculator, and we're going to go ahead and plug in a common scenario that we work with quite a bit. So depending on your state, so in this example, we're going to assume that the person lives in Texas and that they're 60 years old, and their number one question is how much income can I get for $500,000? So again, most of the time, these people have an idea of how much they want to earmark for serving their lifetime income need. And the question's simple. It's going to come down to just plugging it in to our system and then determining how long they anticipate waiting before they activate the income. That's going to be key, is that the longer you wait, the higher the income benefit will be. So it's smart to plan around when you plan to retire in most cases, and when you envision needing this income to serve you once your employment salary has cut off. So in this case, the male is 60. We're going to look at this on a monthly basis to see how much income it would pay him per month, since that's how most people view their finances. And then we're going to also assume that he's married to his spouse, who she is 58. and they're planning to retire at age 65. So with our software, we have this dynamic deferral bar where we can go in and literally each year show the projection of which company is going to offer the highest lifetime income payment based on the amount of years that they plan to defer that income stream. So as we go through each individual year, you're going to start seeing the different carrier names with their ratings and the amount of income that's guaranteed contractually based on 500K joint life for those two people of age 60 and 58 in the state of Texas. And you'll see how the software is ranking these products highest to lowest based on the contractually guaranteed monthly income. So as we go down, you'll start to see different companies and different amounts. And that's how we do it. So we're able to help people make really sound decisions when it comes to the number one question is how much income can I get for 500,000 and who's going to pay me the highest amount, which company? So in this case, they wanted to look at 5 years. So we'll just go all the way out to the 5-year mark. And this would be assuming that they're going to activate income anytime after day one of contract year 6, when the husband is 65 and his wife is 63. So you'll see in this example, Corebridge Financial, which is AIG's annuity arm, comes in number 1 at $4,038 a month. And then you'll see Athene comes in number 2 at $3,860 a month. Now you see there's a bunch of different things on this particular screen. And in part of our process of meeting with clients, we also educate you on other factors to consider when making a sound decision on which lifetime income annuity to pursue. It's not as simple as just going with the highest income amount. I believe that if that were the case, there wouldn't be a need for an annuity advisor like myself or Zach or the thousands of other advisors out there. I think it really comes down to knowing exactly what to look for and what other features and benefits and grading criteria you should consider before making a decision. Sometimes those factors can be the specific company. You know, who is Corebridge? The advisor you're working with should be educating you on who they are, what they're about, how long they've been around. You know, when was the company founded? What does their balance sheet look like? How do they invest their general account? Those are things that we pride ourselves in knowing because we believe that, you know, when you're looking at a lifetime payment and you're planning to be here 30 or more years potentially on this earth, we need to know with a high degree of confidence that that insurance company is sound and that they're going to be here not only today, but out into the future. And that's something that we really take into consideration when making our recommendations. Some of the other features that people will also want to really analyze and know and grade from a criteria perspective would be the charge of the rider. You know, again, we're very transparent. We want you to know exactly what you're getting. And you'll notice here that the fees are disclosed right here, right up front, right in your face. They're not hidden. And that's something that we're very passionate about, is being transparent. You'll see this roll-up rate. You'll also see whether it's simple or compounded. And then you'll notice the factors over here, just right of the bold green income amounts. And that is alluding to that income benefit value. So you tie it back into that T-chart exercise, and you'll see this is the amount of money on the income benefit value side of that T-chart, or the right-hand side. And then you'll notice the last factor here is the payout rate of this income benefit value. How much are they giving you a payout of based on that amount of time, that amount of investment, and your ages at the time of income election. And that's how you get to this number here, which is 4,038. Last but not least, you know, because these are indexed annuities, they have the ability to earn interest on a non-guaranteed basis, and that can influence your account value, which is your liquidity. That's also your potential death benefit. That's also your walkaway money. So you want to, if those things are important to you, which sometimes they're not, sometimes people only care about the lifetime income. And if that's the case, great, that makes it easy. But if you do care about that account value and how it can potentially serve your needs long term, then we need to spend some time evaluating the indexes themselves. Not all indexes are created equal. Not all annuities offer all indexes in their policies. So you really need to know what indexes are available and what the potential for growth they can provide you. Sometimes there's good income rider contracts with bad indexes. That's actually pretty common, actually. Sometimes the highest income is not the best answer, the right answer, if you're really placing some weight of emphasis on that account value side of the T-chart. And so that's where working with an expert that can help you understand the indexes, what the potential for growth is of each one, and which company is offering the better indexes, so on and so forth. That's really important. That's critical to that decision-making process. And that's something that we do here. And you'll notice our software is showing the hypothetical back-tested return of the highest performing index for each of these annuity options. So that's one place to start. Doesn't mean that's the end-all be-all to assume whether an index is good or not, but that's a good place to start. We also look at raw index data. We want to see how these indexes have been doing today, this year, last year, not just in a hypothetical manner, but real time. And so that's something that we also pride ourselves on. But yeah, those are the areas that someone would want to pay attention to. There are other benefits. One last benefit that really comes to mind would be if the income rider contract has an enhanced income benefit for long-term care. So in these types of annuities, they will offer what we call a multiplier or a doubler of the guaranteed income to help assist with the cost of long-term care down the road. Not all of these annuities offer that. It is a feature and benefit that's in a select number of products. But if that's of importance to you and you feel like there's value there, that's again where it comes down to working with someone that really knows what they're talking about, because there are some caveats or nuances to that enhanced income benefit for long-term care that you need to know about. Sometimes that enhanced income benefit can be null and void if the account value is exhausted. Some companies have a guarantee that no matter what happens to that account value, the enhanced income benefit is guaranteed. You need to know those differences if that's important to you.